They violated it, but Israel violated it too. Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I'd never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
So there's Trump's reaction to Iran and Israel, with reports of Israel breaking the ceasefire to hit an Iranian radar strike. Some Republican voices say this doesn't constitute a break of the ceasefire negotiated by President Trump. But that's the politicians and what they have to say. I wanted to talk to Salman Sima because he is an Iranian dissident, a legal immigrant here to Canada. And I know that he's been watching this very closely, and he's going to give us a much different perspective about what's happening right now between Iran and Israel. Salman, thanks for joining me on the show as I fill in for Ezra. Before we get started, tell us about your experience with the Iranian regime and with the IRGC. They are the world's leading sponsor of terrorism. They are a death cult, and you had to live with that before you came to Canada. So go back a little, explain it as though you're just meeting me for the first time. Where do you come from and how did you end up here?
Okay, thank you, Sheila, for the opportunity. First of all, this is not the war of Iranian people. This is the war between Islamic Republic in Iran and the only democracy in the Middle East, Israel. And as you mentioned, they are a death cult. And what's their true name? I see that many journalists, not you, many of the other journalists, they did this mistake. It's not Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. It's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Nothing is Iranian about this cult, okay? Even in their name, okay? It is not supreme leader of Iran. Even themselves, they call it supreme leader of the Islamic Republic, supreme leader of the Islamic Revolution. Okay, in my opinion, supreme loser. So in Iran, when I was a student, we raised a voice about human rights in our university, human rights violation by the regime. We were just a bunch of students. They arrested me, they banned me from my education. When 2008, we were organizing some huge student uprising. So they arrested me, they put me 37 days in solitary confinement. It was horrible, but these days, you know, when I see the footage in Iran, when I see the bravery of my fellow Iranians, honestly, they are much more brave these days, and I admire them. So they torture me. They put me in solitary confinement, and I did hunger strike, dry hunger strike, no food, no water. Lots of human rights group issued a statement, and finally I could manage to escape the country. And with the smuggler, I went to Turkey. Then I came here, as you mentioned, as a legal immigrant, and I came to Canada in 2011. And unfortunately, when I compare the current situation in Canada with what happened in my beautiful homeland, Iran, in 1979, unity of left and unity of jihadist Islamists ruined one of the most beautiful and the most historic country on planet Earth, okay? The same thing is happening here. You see that the unity between left and Islamist jihadists. Give me an example. Why QP, the Union in Ontario. They should support the regime in Iran, left and Islamic jihadists. So yeah, ceasefire, in one hand, it can be a good news. But when I go to social media and see the opinion of my fellow Iranians, the majority of us, we believe that Israel and the US need to finish the job. The problem with Western politicians, they think that they can go for reasonable negotiation with the jihadists. No, you cannot do that. Even they don't follow their own best interests. This is a jihadist. Why Khamenei did that? There is no why. They are psycho. They are Nazi. They are stupid. And this is the reason that every single time Western politician wants to negotiate, wants to reach to a reasonable solution with Islamic regime does something more crazy because it's unpredictable.
Now, I want to ask you, because I think you're obviously plugged into this and more in tune to it, what's the sentiment of the normal Iranians, the normal Persians in Iran? Are they hopeful right now that this could be the turning point, the fall of the regime?
Definitely is the beginning of fall of the regime. Definitely. Okay. Just it's not matter of yes or no. It's matter of when. It's gonna be soon. It's gonna take time. Okay. Definitely, it's the beginning of fall of the regime. And many Iranians like me, we have mixed feeling. On the one hand, we see the IRGC commanders Hossein Salami, Amir Ali Hajizadeh, they were served justice by IDF, and we are happy. I'm happy that I see that my torturers are dead. Definitely, I'm happy. On the other hand, yes, there are some civilian casualty. Yes, there are some innocent people. So all the blood is on the hand of the regime in Iran. Okay. This is the regime that oppressing people, oppressing Iranian more than anyone on planet Earth. This regime killed Muslim more than anyone on planet Earth. This regime helped Bashar al-Assad. This regime helped Al-Qaeda. This regime had 700 active members of IRGC freely operating and treating the national security of Canadians. So this is a problem, and you cannot go with ceasefire or reaching peace with this kind of regime.
Now, are you concerned that we could see IRGC generals ending up in Canada? It wouldn't be the first time. During COVID, one was discovered at a gym in Toronto when the rest of us were banned from the gyms. He was working out in a hotel gym. Are you at all concerned that we might see IRGC types ending up in Canada?
I am not concerned. It's something that passed the concern. We are seeing that. Actively, we are seeing that. We see two members of IRGC, the famous photo during the hatred Hamas encampment in UFD. We know that behind those encampment were IRGC and the Muslim Brotherhood and Ikhwan al-Muslimin CCP. We know that. This is a fact. This is not something that you claim it or I claim it. Several times the deputy leader of Conservative Party, Melissa Lansman, raised the issue in Canadian Parliament, Globe and Mail, and several the other journalists, even those journalists that supported the Liberal, they paid by Justin Trudeau, even they raised this issue. And don't forget that Amir Ali Hajizadeh, who were killed 10 days ago by IDF, he was directly involved and issued the order for killing 55 Canadians on the flight PS5-2. This is not something that's concerning us. Just after the ceasefire, okay, we know that at least 700, in my opinion, is more than that. And regime gonna activate its terrorist sleeper cell on Canadian soils. Definitely they're gonna do that. And just 2 days ago, we see the rally in front of U.S. consulate. They raised the picture of Ali Khamenei. Can you believe that Canadian Parliament passed a motion and they acknowledge the Islamic Republic in Iran as a #1 terrorist in the world, then they can glorify terrorism on Canadian soil. Thank you to Olivia Cha. Thank you to Mark Carney.
Yeah, just don't honk your horn.
Exactly.
I want to ask you what this means for the region. Just, as someone from there with ties to the region, what does this mean for the likes of Hamas and Hezbollah, which are, Iranian-backed terror groups? If the regime falls, will we see a lessening of the stranglehold that Hamas and Hezbollah have on their respective regions?
So, first of all, quick correction. This is not Iranian-backed terrorists, Islamic regime-backed. We are the nation of Cyrus the Great. Everything about Iran is great. Okay.
Yes.
And make Iran great again. And second point, when these proxies are designed, okay, Hamas, Hezbollah, Houthis, Hashd Shabi, Zainabiyun, Fatimiyun, I can just name it, okay? When these proxies were designed by Islamic regime, these proxies are arm of the regime to defend the regime. You see, it's not the regime to defend its proxies. Hamas, Hezbollah, those sleeper terrorist cells are defending regime. And after October 7, we see the new phenomenon happen in Middle East. Israel's weakened 90% of Hamas capability. They went with amazing pager operation after Hezbollah, and they remove the first butcher, first killer on planet Earth, Bashar al-Assad. Bashar al-Assad killed innocent kids. Gas, they use chemical gas against kids. So we see that step by step, they cut the arm and the alliance of the regime in Iran. And honestly, I'm not shocked, and it's too early to believe the ceasefire, but you cannot have ceasefire with Islamic regime. The problem with some people, some conservative-minded good friends, they think that if you don't do anything with these jihadis, with this Islamic regime, they will let you be in peace. No, they are the aggressive cult, They're gonna come after you. If you don't go after head of a snake in Tehran, if you don't go after IRGC gonna come in your backyard. And this is something that we see in Toronto.